Hi everybody! So in today's video, we are going to draw a cute or kawaii avocado just like this, the ones that you're seeing beside my iPad right now. And yes, I drew these avocados and turned them into keychains. So grab your iPad and pen, open your Procreate, and let's get started. So my canvas is set to 3000 pixels by 3000 pixels at 300 dpi or dots per inch, and it's on CMYK because I want these avocados to be printed later. Okay, but if you want to just learn how to draw, you can use RGB or use the default canvas that you have on Procreate. So the entire drawing process, I am going to use the studio pen. I'm not going to change a brush at all. Okay, and it's set to 30% thickness for the outline. Okay, what I always want to do before drawing is that I add the colors that I want to use on the screen so I don't have to keep going back and forth on the color wheel on the top right. But it's totally up to you. It's easier for me this way. All right, so let's draw the outline first. You have to add a new layer, draw an ellipse. I love to overlap the line to get that perfect shape. Yes, just about this size. Just want to make sure that it's in the center. Now I am going to use the warp tool to play around with the shape because avocados are definitely not perfect ellipse. There you go. It actually depends on your preference. So yeah. So we're done with our outline. Now duplicate the first layer or the outline layer. Make it a little bit smaller because we will fill this with a darker green color. Now you can see there are empty spaces in between the outer layer and the outline, so we have to move the green layer to fill out those spaces. Next, duplicate any of the layers, and in this tutorial, I will duplicate the second layer. And now we are going to use the yellowish green color for the body of the avocado. And after dropping the color, you can move this layer in between the first and second layer. Then drop the color yellow-green to fill the body color. At this point, we should have three layers: the outline, the outer green color, and the body yellow-green color. Now add another layer on top. This time we are drawing the seed or the belly in color pink because it's cute, right? So draw a circle or ellipse. Use the trick to overlap the lines to get that flawless shape. Make sure it's not positioned too high. Now, using the warp tool, we will nudge the shape a little bit to make it imperfect, to make it look like more realistic. Just push on random sides until the circle becomes imperfect. Now fill it with the pink color. Next, we are gonna add some shadow under the seed. So duplicate this layer and we will add a new layer in between the seed layers. Now tap the new layer, the empty one, and select clipping mask. Change the color to black. Then tap the layer again, select fill layer, and the pink layer will be filled with the black color that you selected. And now maybe you're wondering why I made you do that instead of just dropping the color black to that pink layer. It's easier that way, right? But I want you to remember that step because later on, if you're working on more complicated shapes, it will take more time for you to drop the color in multiple spots. This step will save your life, so you gotta remember that step. Now that we have this black layer here, next step is to set it to blur using the Gaussian blur. Now, I have the Gaussian blur on shortcut, so if I press the tip of my pen, it will show up on the screen. That's the shortcut. It's easier that way, but in case you don't have that shortcut, you can go to the magic wand tool and select Gaussian blur from here. Let's set the blur to 10%. Tap the arrow and we will move the layer just a little bit under the seed to kind of have that shadow effect. Now I always want to set my shadows to 50%, so tap the letter N right here and drag this to 50%. Now let's add a shade to the seed. Add a layer on top, tap to select clipping mask. Now tap the letter N and choose multiply. Make sure that the color we're using is the same color as the seed. The color will be automatically darkened or multiplied to give that shadow effect. Just draw a curve here, and it doesn't matter if you go beyond the shape because you are on clipping mask. Just make sure that the ends meet so we can easily drag and drop the color. And again, Gaussian blur to about 30%. We are going to add a lighting effect this time. It's almost the same step. Add a new layer on top, tap to select clipping mask, and this time we are using the white color. Now draw an imperfect ellipse here, fill it out with white color, then Gaussian blur to about 30% to achieve that lighting effect. Now we can merge all these. Make sure that you merge the clip layers to the main layer you clipped it on. Now let's go back to the body layer. We are going to add a little bit of shading or shadow to it, just like what we did to the belly or the seed. Add a layer on top of it. Tap and select clipping mask. We will do the same thing that we did with the seed layer, just like what I said. So add a shadow and light layer. So by now you should already know how to do that. So feel free to follow along. Perfect. You did a good job right there. Now just merge the layers. Remember, merge the layers with the clip mask before merging the rest, because if you just merge everything at once, you will lose the clip layers. Trust me. Now our only missing piece are the eyes. Add a new layer. So we are working on kawaii art, right? It means it's cute. So I want it to look kind of cute and shy at the same time. I'm going to use this black shade and start drawing the eyes. On this part, you can be as creative as you want. If you don't like the shy type face, you can do any cute face that you can draw, literally anything. Just be creative and playful. If you want to do the same thing as what I'm doing, feel free to follow along. If not, then you can draw a different set of eyes. This is freaking cute. You gotta agree. And I guess that's it. We're done drawing our cute avocado. What do you think about your drawing? I am so proud of you. You did a really good job. Now, if you want to get better at it, you can repeat the steps until you memorize it. Trust me, you will get better at it. Just believe in yourself. You just did it. You can do it again. And if you have questions, I'd love to help you out. So please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'd love to check the comment section out for me to answer any questions that you have. Don't be shy. Just go ask that question now. If you're new to my channel and if you want more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe so you will be notified on my next tutorial. See ya!